artist offers an idea, a perspective. It helps us all to see who we are. It wakes us up and it pushes us forward towards our collective and individual potential. It makes us, each of us, able to see who we are more clearly. It's progression and progressive movement. It is the future staring us down in the present and saying, come on, let's get on with it. Here we are, now. I'm purposely using the word artist rather than musician because the band Nirvana were artists in every sense of the word. It is the highest calling for an artist, as well as the greatest possible privilege to capture a moment, to find the zeitgeist, to expose our struggles, our aspirations, our desires, to embrace and define their time. That is my definition of an artist. Nirvana captured lightning in a bottle. And now I will quote Urban Dictionary off the internet in defining lightning in a bottle as capturing something powerful and elusive, and then being able to hold it and show it to the world. Kurt Cobain, Krist Novoselic, and Grohl. And the power of their defining moment has become, for us, indelible. Like my band, R.E.M, Nirvana came from a most unlikely place. Not a cultural city center like London, San Francisco, Los Angeles, or even New York, or Brooklyn, but from Aberdeen, Washington, in the Pacific Northwest, a largely blue-collar town, just outside of Seattle. Krist Novoselic said, Nirvana came out of the American hardcore scene of the 1980s. This was a true underground. It was punk rock, but the many bands and musical styles were eclectic. We were a product of a community of youth looking for a connection away from the mainstream. The community built structures outside of the corporate, governmental sphere, independent and decentralized. Media connected through the copy machine a decade before the internet as we know it came to be. This was social networking with a face. Grohl said, we were dropouts, making minimum wage, listening to vinyl, emulating our heroes, Ian MacKay, Little Richard, getting high, sleeping in bands, never expecting the world to notice. Solo artists almost have it easier than bands. Bands are not easy. You find yourself in a group of people who rub each other the wrong way in exactly the right way. And you have chemistry, zeitgeist, lightning in a bottle, and a collective voice to help pinpoint a moment to understand what it is that we're going through. You see, this is about community, cross-inspiration, pushing ourselves. Nirvana tapped into a voice that was yearning to be heard. Keep in mind the times. This was the late 80s, early 90s. America, the idea of a hopeful, democratic country had been practically dismantled by Iran-Contra, by AIDS, by the Reagan-Bush senior administrations. But with their music, their attitude, their voice, by acknowledging the political machinations of petty but broad-reaching political arguments, movements, and positions that had held us culturally back, Nirvana blasted through all that with crystalline, nuclear rage and fury. Nirvana were kicking against the system, bringing complete disdain for the music industry and their definition of corporate mainstream America to show a sweet and beautiful but fed up fury, coupled with howling vulnerability. Lyrically exposing our frailty, our frustrations, our shortcomings, singing of retreat and acceptance, of our triumphs, of an outsider community with such immense possibility, stymied or ignored but not held down or held back by the stupidity and political pettiness of the times. They spoke truth, and a lot of people listened. I picked up the mantle in that particular battle, but they were singular and loud and melodic and deeply original, and that voice, Kurt Cobain. Nirvana defined a moment, a movement for outsiders, for the fags and the fat girls and the broken toys and the shy nerds and the goth kids from Tennessee and Kentucky, for the rockers and the awkward and the fed up we were a community, a generation, in Nirvana's case, several generations. And the echo chamber of that collective howl, and Allen Ginsberg would have been very proud here. That moment and that voice reverberated into music and film, into politics, into worldview, into poetry, into fashion, into art, into spiritualism, and the beginning of the internet, and so many fields in so many ways, and in our lives. And this is not just pop music. This is something much greater than that. We rub each other the wrong way in exactly the right way at the right time. Nirvana. It is my honor to call to the stage Krist Novoselic and Dave Grohl.